if I say any more, you might question my sanity.
There's a strange kind of magic in New Orleans. Everyone knows it's a party town. The food, the drinking, but spend more than a weekend here, and you start to notice something else. Cemeteries in the middle of neighborhoods, voodoo shops that aren't for tourists, and the way people talk about the dead around here, like they're still around. Most cities pick a lane. Not New Orleans. You can get drunk at noon and visit a tomb at 2, and nobody thinks that's weird. So I called up my friend Docta Zombo. He's a tour guide with Ghost City Tours. So basically, he walks people through the dark side of this place for a living. I figured if anyone could explain why this city feels haunted, even when the sun's out, it'd be him.
I do have to say that this city really captures spirits after they die. I like to tell a lot of my customers when we're walking around, do not be surprised if you feel or see or, inherently walk around with something. I like to tell them that we walk the parallel between the living and the dead. And it really holds true. For some reason, it's kind of a bubble of spirits. Nobody ever stays dead here. The voodoo in this town, how it's hand in hand with Catholicism, the way that people celebrate, all the way down to playing their music loud all night long, kind of goes back to the days of the Axeman of New Orleans, where he demanded that people play jazz out their windows all night or he'd kill more. And to me, there's something fantastic about the underbelly and the dark side of this place. You see little kids walking around and families in Jackson Square, but if they only knew back in 1812 there were dismembered body parts all over pikes around the square rotting off the flesh. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a parallel to see today and know then and see how much things have changed. The paranormal has always been a part of my life. I have a pretty comprehensive collection of haunted items that people from around the world send me to get them the hell out of their house because they're tired of things being haunted. I personally, unlike Annabelle, I do not lock mine up. I let them roam free. They're happy amongst their own. They know that I'm one of them and it's okay. Now that's about as far as I can take it because if I say any more, you might question my sanity.
Here in New Orleans, we have this spiritual element to everything that goes on here, as you kind of talked about before, but is there any cities across the United States that have a parallel to New Orleans in that vein?
I wouldn't say parallel. Salem was very interesting, Salem, Massachusetts, but outside of the U.S., Zogno, Italy, just south of Milan, I housed up in a old 14th century monastery out in the middle of the countryside for like 3 weeks, and the immense power that floated through that place was something to be reckoned with. And there is a little place, and I'm trying to, Randsburg, California. Little living ghost town. There's about 5 people there. I got a friend named Dan that lives there. You feel, you see, you witness the dead walk. It's just a little forgotten about town out in the middle of Death Valley, and it's fantastic. I like to vacation there at least once every 3 years. Get my head straight, get in tune. I'm trying to hone in on what I do, really, I guess shed the layers. The Japanese said that every man wears 3 faces. There's one for everybody, one for the people that are close, and one that absolutely is only seen by them. I have made it my life's mission to tear away all those faces and leave only one. Now, it may have multiple names, but it's the doctor, and that's just the way it goes.
What's the good doctor's prescription for a visitor to this great city?
It is very beautiful. Just remember, you are literally swimming through history. Just the town alone, 350 plus years old. That swamp holds more spirits than this town probably does. You mix the two, you could probably fill at least a full metropolis with the amount of people walking around that aren't here anymore. I like to tell some of my people too. Just remember, scientifically, just like dogs, just like certain animals, the human eye can only take in 30% of what's standing in front of it. So how much other shit are you not seeing?